The time is 6 a.m. The month is January 2nd, 2026. The year is still fresh, but besides the resolutions and promises made on New Year's Eve, not many people will stay alive long enough to fulfill them. Eagle Pass, California didn't look like one of those cities or towns with high crime. But now it would, because horror had chosen it, and for a reason. Don't blink the cipher, because if you do, you won't see it. The victim's name was Daniel Mercer, 46 years old, high school history teacher, married to Elena Mercer for 19 years. They had 2 children, Lucas, 14, and Noah, 11. Daniel Mercer was found seated in his car at the edge of the overlook just after dawn, hands resting calmly on the steering wheel, eyes open, as if he had simply stopped to think. Detective Aaron Holt knew something was wrong before the coroner spoke. No blood spray, no forced entry, no sign of panic. And beside the rear tire, carved into the dry dirt with surgical care, was a symbol Holt hadn't seen in 20 years. But he recognized it instantly. Captain Mara Ellison didn't want to reopen the old files. She had been a junior analyst during the original Cipher Wave murders, a case that hollowed out departments and quietly ended careers. A killer who wrote in symbols, murdered without escalation, and vanished without explanation. Ellison stared, worried. "I don't think there's a connection," she said at first. "Too clean, too deliberate." But the angles were right. The spacing was right. Even the depth of the carving matched archival photographs taken decades earlier. This wasn't homage. It was replication. The second victim was Renee Calder, age 32, a night shift city landscaper, recently divorced, mother to a 6-year-old daughter, Madeline, who was sleeping at her grandmother's house when Renee was killed. Renee was found in a public park restroom. Unlocked door. No defensive wounds. No theft. Just the symbol. Again, carved carefully behind the building, as if it were more important than the body itself. Ellison made the call she had hoped never to make. Jonah Reed arrived 2 days later, retired, gray, walking with a limp he never talked about. Reed had been the lead investigator on the original Cipher Wave task force, the only one still alive. He stared at the photos of Mercer and Calder longer than anyone else. Then he spoke quietly. "He's not copying us," Reed said. "He's copying him." The third victim was Harold Vance, 61, recently retired postal worker, widower, lived alone with a dog named Milo, who was found waiting by the door for 2 days. Vance was killed in his own kitchen. No forced entry, no sign of struggle. The symbol was carved into the concrete outside the back door, hidden from the street. When Holt notified Vance's sister, she asked a question Holt couldn't answer. Why him? There was no reason. That was the point. A letter arrived at the Eagle Pass Gazette the same afternoon. Different handwriting from the original cipher letters. Same cadence, same restraint, same sentence length. "I am not the return. I am the continuation." Detective Holt hated the word offshoot the moment it appeared in the follow-up letter. It wasn't copycat language. It wasn't obsession. It was taxonomy. As if the killer wasn't role-playing, but categorizing himself. Reopening the Cipher Wave files revealed something worse than failure. The original victims had names too. Eleanor Briggs, Thomas Klein, Marjorie Peck. Each had families. Each had been mourned. And none had brought police closer to an answer. Different weapons, different cities, different victim profiles. The task force had built profiles anyway. Loner, narcissist, genius. Because that's what police do when there's nothing else. At 2:17 a.m., alone in the evidence room, Reed finally admitted the truth. "We weren't chasing a man," he said. "We were chasing closure." The fourth letter arrived directly at the task force. "You were searching for inheritance. There was no bloodline. There was only a method." Ellison understood then. The killer wasn't threatening escalation. he was promising completion. Eagle Pass locked down. Curfews, checkpoints, plainclothes officers everywhere. But the city didn't feel protected. It felt observed. Because the Offshoot didn't rush, he followed the same rhythm as before. Kill, wait, communicate, disappear. The fourth cipher was solvable. Reed cracked it alone, hands shaking. It wasn't a date. It wasn't location. It was a sentence. The first one never existed as you imagine him. That was when the theory emerged, the one no one wanted in writing. What if the Cipher Wave had never been a single killer? What if it had always been modular? Crimes designed to be repeated, adapted, inherited. A system that didn't require survival, only adoption. The fifth attack was interrupted, barely. Officer Caleb Moreno surprised a man carving the symbol behind a closed convenience store. The suspect fled, left behind gloves, tools, no fingerprints, no usable DNA, just an unfinished symbol, and a note pinned beneath it. You almost caught the wrong ending. The final letter arrived a week later. I am not trying to replace him. I am trying to prove you never lost him. You simply misunderstood what he was. Then the murders stopped. No arrests, no disappearance to investigate. The pattern didn't end, it concluded. Years later, Detective Aaron Holt admitted something he never put in a report. They never failed to catch the killer. They succeeded in doing exactly what the Cipher Wave required. They learned it. And somewhere, someday, someone else would too. Because you don't hunt an offshoot of a ghost. You wait for the next person who decides to become one. But somewhere, someone is waiting. There is a connection. There is a pattern. For everyone killed, there was a link. The killer was a foreigner. He always had been. And now, they were pruning the farm. You heard. We are pruning the farm. Captain Mara Ellison folded the letter clean, walked to the window, and stared out into the city. She already knew why.